Today, we're making caramel popcorn. And one of my viewers asked me to make this for her. So, if there's anything you ever want to see, just message me and let me know. When you want something, it's always better to think of how can I make it myself instead of how can I buy it. So popcorn is one of those things that's marketed as a healthy food. And if you look at the ingredients in most packaged popcorn, it's really not good. It's filled with extra sugars, chemicals, and seed oils. The lesser evil popcorn is pretty good. But always, when you can make it yourself, the ingredients, the quality ingredients are always going to make it a little healthier. So let's get started. So our first step is to actually pop the popcorn. And a couple of things I want to point out here. I'm using avocado oil at the bottom here. I'm just going to make sure the whole bottom of my pan is coated with oil. The other thing is the pan. What kind of pan are you using? So I have my stove right now on high heat. So you want a nice stainless steel pan that has a heavy bottom to pop popcorn. And when you buy your popcorn, you're going to be incredibly surprised at how much money you can save by buying your own popcorn. This is organic popping corn that you can buy anywhere, but it is cheap. And when you pop your own popcorn, not only are you making it healthier for yourself, but you are saving money too. So as my oil heats, I'm just dropping in a few of the popcorn kernels. And when one of them starts to crack a little bit, this is how I know it's time to put the rest of the kernels in and let it pop. So I'll show you that when it starts cooking. Okay, so you can see one kernel has popped, and that means it is time to pour the rest of your popcorn. And you just want to make sure that the entire bottom is coated with popcorn. This can make a lot of popcorn here. I'm going to put the lid back on and it's going to pop. Okay, so this is almost full now and it's still popping a little bit. I don't really hear any kernels in there, but I'm just going to kind of let this sit until I don't hear anything else. And then we're going to, I've melted some butter here. I have some butter that I've melted and some salt. We're going to butter and salt it, and it's going to wait for its caramel. Okay, look at that wonderful, beautiful popcorn. What I'm going to do, and although this is going to be caramel, you still need to butter and salt your popcorn, right? You just, it's like anything else that we're cooking. We're building the flavors in here. So I have some pink Himalayan sea salt that I'm just sprinkling. I'm going to stir it up and we'll get started on the caramel. Okay, so I have 1 cup of butter and 1.5 cups of brown sugar in a saucepan. And again, you want a stainless steel pan, heavy bottom to make this caramel. And what we're going to do is we're going to just slowly let this melt. And when it starts bubbling, I'll come back, but we're going to really let it bubble for about 4 minutes. I'm also going to put in 1/2 cup of corn syrup, which, honestly, this is not the healthiest thing, but, we are making caramel corn. But I'm still saying by making it ourselves, we can make it a little healthier than buying it out of a bag. So I'm just going to stir all this together, bring it to a boil about 4 minutes. I'll be back to show you what it looks like. And we're going to add a little salt, vanilla, and baking soda. Okay, I set a 4-minute timer on my watch and it's totally going off. So I'm going to turn my stove off, but I have not stopped mixing this, right? This is not the time to walk away from your stove. So this has been cooking for 4 minutes. I'm going to add about 2 teaspoons of vanilla to it, and you'll see the reaction, which is why you want to turn your stove off. I'm going to add a little bit, maybe 3/4 teaspoon of salt. And then I'm going to do about 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and you're going to see it foam up too. Okay, and this is what's going to help for our caramel corn. So I'm just going to mix everything in here, and then I'm going to pour this all over my popcorn. I have to move my camera angle, so you may or may not see this. I'm going to do the best I can with it. Okay, I'm pouring all of this caramel over all of my popcorn, and you kind of have to work fast here. So I'm going to mix everything around and be careful to not get any of this on your fingers. So I don't know if you saw, but some just kind of melted on my fingers. So you really need to take your time, but work fast. I think the important thing is work carefully. And then on the right hand side here, you're going to see I have 2 sheet pans with a silk mat on top of each sheet pan. If you don't have silk pads, that's totally fine. A sheet of wax paper or even some Reynolds wrap or something like that is going to be fine. So you're looking to coat all of your popcorn, and so that the popcorn doesn't get soggy, we're going to have to bake it. So I have my oven on 250 degrees, okay? And we are going to start baking this. It's going to bake for roughly an hour, and I'm going to turn it every 15 minutes so that it doesn't stick. Okay, I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, the caramel corn has come out of the oven. It's still actually a little sticky, but I'm just going to let it sit and cool, and it'll harden up, and then you could break it into pieces and store it in an airtight container. Bon appetito.